One morning I woke up, it was quite early. I heard men speaking in my house. So I laid for a second and thought, oh my, who's that? Well, it was just terrible. I was so scared because at first I thought someone come in the house to take something.
A few months ago, this woman with mobility issues, who we're calling Sarah, had a prepayment meter installed in her home.
There was two men in my living room, and my front door had been left open. And when I looked out, there was another probably four men.
Were they apologetic? Did they?
No. I don't know, do they get paid for each one they do? But I got a feeling, as in, for them, it was like, that's another job done. So that's the feeling I got from them.
Sarah wants to be anonymous because she's ashamed she couldn't afford her energy bills and doesn't want her company to know who she is.
Now, even at night when the doors are locked, I just don't... It's been my home for years, but now it just doesn't feel like my home. It just feels like it was invaded.
There might be people watching who think, well, you know, if people aren't paying their bills, these companies have a legal right to apply for a warrant and enter people's homes. What would you say to those people?
Well, I would just say that not everyone's in the same position. People can have accidents, health problems, or just anything else happen. And we should all treat everyone the same anyway. We're all human and we don't deserve strangers to come into our home.
As we're not identifying Sarah, we're unable to put her account to her energy company, but the installation of a prepayment meter can often add hundreds of pounds to a customer's bill. 380,000 people were forced onto a prepayment meter in 2021 because they couldn't afford their energy bills. A year later, it rose to 600,000 as prices soared following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So under what circumstances can energy companies force pay-as-you-go meters into homes? They must have taken all reasonable steps to support struggling customers, and only as a last resort should they apply for a warrant at a magistrate court. Vulnerable households should always be exempt, including the elderly, the disabled, children under 5, and those with long-term health issues, a category Sarah falls into.
Hello, British Gas or Gas Supply. We're here with
British Gas is now being investigated by Ofgem after the Times filmed debt collectors behaving like this.
exciting bit. I love this bit.
While breaking into vulnerable people's homes to install prepayment meters. This programme has been told the problem is industry-wide.
What we can see every day in our case assistance advice, this isn't just one or two companies who are forcing people onto prepayment meters where it's not safe. This is a systematic problem, which is why we need to see the whole of industry commit to stopping forcing people onto prepayment meters until we have new protections in place.
Some magistrates believe the way the system has been streamlined in recent years has led to energy companies applying for warrants without considering customers' vulnerabilities. One has agreed to speak on camera after he recently quit the profession over it.
When I started as a magistrate 6 years ago, the energy companies would come to court reasonably frequently requesting warrants of entry. We would be able to ask the energy companies some questions, and we would, from time to time, decline the application for a warrant. Over time, the process around how these warrants were considered changed, and rather than looking at individual applications, we would just get a list of addresses.
Since that change in the process, there's been a dramatic drop in the number of warrants refused by magistrates, down from nearly 2,000 in 2019 to double digits in each of the last 3 years. And that drop in refusals comes as overall applications rocketed from nearly 280,000 in 2019 to around 370,000 last year.
If you are a person who is in acute financial distress and a court is going to consider granting the power to a private company to enter your home and install a prepayment meter, you'd want to know that the court are taking that decision really seriously, that they're giving it serious consideration, that they're asking questions. And none of that is true anymore. And I simply got to a point where I just couldn't imagine going into court and putting my signature to one of those warrants.
Today, the Energy Minister expressed his horror at prepayment meters being forcibly installed, but that'll be little comfort for those currently on the brink, particularly with the removal of the energy cap just a few months away.